everybody, welcome to your horoscopes for this week. These are for the week ending 6/13/2015. I'm Melissa Bruce. We got a lot of really fun stuff happening this week, including the end of the Mercury retrograde. Thank goodness for that. It's been a rough one, but we'll be seeing the end of that one on Thursday, thankfully. But before we get into all of that, let's get started as we usually do with Aries. Lots of really positive, wonderful things are in store for you Rams this week, and we're going to kick it off first of all with a grand sextile that takes place all week long, continuing from last week between Uranus, Jupiter, Mars, and the Sun. And Mars and the Sun are going to be in complete conjunction by the end of this week, so it's a really powerful aspect, and it all points towards making big advancements when it comes to your career. You've got the money together to do it. You've got the support that you need as far as personal support, relationship support, and people support around you to really make the things happen that you want to make happen in your career. Then when the moon comes into your sign on Wednesday, we have even more awesomeness taking place as she trines with Venus and creates a grand sextile between the moon, Venus, and Mercury, pointing to your dreams and goals. And hopefully your dreams and goals are the same as your career, but if not, that means even more wonderful things to get done also, whether it's projects that you've been waiting to get done or things like that. It is right before the Mercury retrograde ends, but it's so helpful that in a way the Mercury retrograde helps you out, and you don't have to worry about that anyways, because both of these planets, Venus and Uranus, are forming a one-day grand fire trine of possibility. So if you can see it, it is right there in front of you. Visualize and attack. Visualize and attack. Don't let the vision come up and waste your time thinking about all of the ways that it may or may not be able to happen. Just visualize and go do it. Or, as I said before, visualize and attack. And that's what it's all about for you guys this week. No matter what you do, grab on to what it is that you want and make the most of it, because the energy is ripe for it this week for you guys. You guys have a great week with that. Taurus, lots of beautiful things happening for you guys this week, and we're going to kick off the week with the part of fortune in your sign for the first 2 days of the week, and we're all talking about luck. You got some good luck there. That part of fortune is going to be sprinkling some magic fairy dust when it comes to your goals and dreams, and if you had some ideas, it is time to put them into actions instead of keeping them in here where they remain ideas. It's all about building your foundation so that you can kick off these ideas and put them into reality. And you've got a lot of really good energy there with the part of fortune coming into your sign and bringing you that luck in the beginning of the week. Also, at the end of the week, the moon rounds off the week in your sign on Friday and Saturday. And even though she is going to be in a squared position with Venus and Jupiter both days, one each day, that is going to create a little bit of an issue when it feels like you don't have the support there that maybe you would like to have when it comes to launching these new ventures. But her trine with Pluto says to look a little bit deeper at the individual. If the individual is coming to you with concerns about what it is that you're doing, try not to take it personally. It's not you. It's not that they don't have trust or faith in you. It's simply their concern for what it is that you're doing, or to make sure that you have all your I's dotted and your T's crossed. Look through that. Be understanding that they really are just there for you. Don't be afraid to listen to what they have to say, because their concerns are valid, and they may be bringing up some things that you may not be thinking about. By doing this, you create a better foundation for the support with these people, and that thought process of these people aren't really there to support me becomes the illusion that it really is. They are there to support you. They just want to make sure that you are as successful as you possibly can be. And there's really nothing wrong with that. So you guys, whatever those ideas are, it's time to make them actions. And you guys are determined you can do it. So have a great week with that. Gemini, happy birthday to all of the Geminis born this week. It's going to be a little bit of tension this week on Monday when the moon moves into T-squared position with Mercury in your sign, also the sun in opposition with Saturn, and that moon's going to be conjunct with Neptune. So we're talking about deep emotional disturbances, especially when it comes to your daily schedule. You may have everything all planned out and ready to go, and unfortunately, as life happens, it throws those wrenches into your schedule, and these can be really deep emotional, either emotional issues that have come up or mimicked from the past, or it's a person that is overly or very emotional that you may have to stop everything for and take care of. Now for you Geminis, that's not the easiest thing to do. Emotional things aren't the easiest things to deal with, but at the same time, this whole aspect with Saturn down there on the bottom is all about your mind and how you're thinking about it. If you're overthinking the situation, or you can't seem to take your mind off of the situation, you're thinking too hard about the situation. And this whole aspect, including Mercury's opposition with Saturn for the entire week, is all about this kind of chatter. It's the mental chatter. Where is your mental chatter? Is it in a positive place or a negative place? And if it's in a negative place, you want to change that around a little bit. You're not going to be successful if your mind is in negative chatter mode, unfortunately. So get out of your head, Geminis, because unfortunately when you spend too much time there, you're not very successful in the outside world. This little T-square is going to happen for one day. It's not a huge big deal. And as the sun moves out of squared position with Neptune, you're only left with Mercury, who goes direct on Thursday. Yay! For everybody who's had a little bit of an issue with it. I know I have had some issues with it, and it has not been fun, but it's not been fun for a lot of people also. So things are going to be moving on. Mercury is going to move out of that opposition aspect next week, or the following week after this coming up week, along with that square position with Neptune, and things are going to settle down into their normal little bit of chaos instead of so much chaos. So you guys, yes, there might be a little bit of a rocky road this week, but it is getting better. That's the big thing. It is getting better. And use this new burst of energy of things getting a little bit better and Mercury going direct to start making things happen again, especially when it comes to your career and your dreams and goals. So you guys, no matter what happens, grab onto the awesome and have a great week with that. Cancer, the week ends with the part of fortune in your sign, making you lucky in love this week. This week is all about feeling the love and feeling the love and support that you have. Not just feeling the love that you give to others, but really feeling and being surrounded by that reciprocation back from those that you care so deeply for, as you Cancers always do. You're the nurturers of the zodiac, and you've got to nurture everybody. This week is your time to celebrate that, receiving that back, because that's really important. We all need that every once in a while. The big thing here is, though, as you're celebrating this receiving it back, you want to avoid wondering when the shoe's going to drop, or it's so perfect, I wonder what's going to happen to come screw it up. Nothing's going to come to screw it up, so make sure you stay out of your head and stay in the present and enjoy the time that you have, because the truth is, life always comes to screw everything in up. You don't want to be waiting for that screw up to happen. You want to be enjoying the moment that you're in right then and there, because you deserve to have that time with those that you love and feeling that love from those that you love. Don't think about anything else but enjoying the time that you have with everybody around you. And you guys, it's been a while coming, so have a great week with that. Leo, the energy is ripe for success and getting what you want this week, and it's a beautiful thing as Jupiter is still forming that grand sextile with Uranus and the Sun and Mars this week. And the Sun and Mars in perfect conjunction means you've got lots of energy behind what you're doing when it comes to your career. Money is available. Those changes or advancements are available in your career this week. All you got to do is jump out and grab them. But if that's not all, Venus is also in your sign, celebrating her first full week in your sign this week. And as she comes in trined with Saturn, she's really helping you to see the love and support that you have for your goals and dreams and, you know, for your career advancements. But she also is trined with Saturn, and it's all about how you think. And what she's doing with this trine is she's showing you where a little bit of stinking thinking, as Wings and I call it, actually gets in the way of success. Believe it or not, it's kind of a weird thing, you know, but it happens to all of us. So you really, what Venus is trying to do, because Venus is all about love, is she's saying when you speak to yourself, are you speaking from a place of love? If the answer to that question is no, you, my dear, are getting in your own way. And you don't want to get in your own way, because it's all wide open for you right now to grab whatever it is that you want, especially on Wednesday when the moon moves into position to create a one-day grand fire trine, allowing you to really manifest those dreams that you have here into realities. And you have the support, you have the relationships, both professional and personal, and everything you need together in order to make this happen. So this week you want to ask yourself one question: am I ready to do this? Because if the answer is yes, then it's time to get up and do it. And if you're scared, well, then that's definitely the reason why you should do it. So you guys, slap those crowns on and have a great week with that. Virgo, I know a particular triple Virgo out there in the world that's going to be so happy to hear that the dark moon leaves your sign on Thursday this week. And she leaves you reflecting in an image of the awesome you that you really can be. The dark moon can be difficult. Her lessons can be really difficult sometimes, because she's all about change and wanting to yank that change out of you in a way, and it can be a very difficult and a very heavy energy. But this change is important, especially when it comes to you and how you feel about you. What she's doing is she's setting you up to see the real you, just how much you can accomplish. And she leaves you feeling absolutely fantastic as she leaves your sign. Even before she leaves your sign, you're confident, you're successful, and your mind is, whatever I want in this world, I'm going to go and get it. And that's the way she wants to leave you, because that is the Virgo mentality after all. You want to eliminate any of that, those thoughts or those fears or that overanalyzation or overthinking or even that worry, because this week it's time for you to really believe that everything that you touch can turn to gold if you put your mind to it. So this week it's all about grabbing on to your potential. No matter what it is, if it's something that you've been wanting to do, this week it's time to grab it with both hands and try it out and see how far you can go with it. So you guys have a great week with that. Libra, this week may be one of those weeks where you feel like you're staring in the mirror and the reflection back at you is somebody with certain traits that you thought maybe have been gone for a really long time. And it can be really difficult when old parts of you that you really worked on to eliminate in your life all of a sudden seem to come back in full force, and you're standing there going, hey, I thought I got rid of that. That's not me anymore. Well, the truth is, we never really get rid of anything. It's still a part of us. It's just not a part of us where we live there anymore. So if you have, say, a really terrible destructive temper, for example, and you're not there all the time, you don't lose your temper, just because you lose your temper this week doesn't mean that you failed. Sometimes you need to go back and revisit that past so that you can see just how far you've come in eliminating those patterns. And on top of that, there's always those situations out there in the world that might warrant that. So occasionally, even though you don't want to lose your temper all the time, you got to put your pardon my French, shit kickers on and handle business. And sometimes that's just what needs to happen. You shouldn't feel bad about that. If anybody can do it, it's definitely you that can do it. So this week, yes, you may see parts of yourself that you may not be the most comfortable with, but at the same time, now's the time to learn how to use them for your benefit. And you guys have a great week with that. Scorpio, as Saturn moves into your sign, 0 degrees, but in Sagittarius means that he is on the true cusp of both Scorpio and Sagittarius. So he's on his way. He's going to be there full into your sign next week. But this week, as the moon moves into position to form a T-square between Saturn, Neptune, the sun, and Mercury, things are going to be a little bit difficult, especially as it feels as if you never have the time to be able to put to what you want to do, whether it's your goals or your career. But at the same time, Saturn's trine with Venus is very important this week, as it just really shows you how much love and support that you do have around you. And it is important to use that support, lean on that support, let them help you with some ideas of different things that would make it easier for you to get through this challenge, rather than shutting the door right away and saying, no, that's not going to work. It may work. You never know unless you try it. And unless you've tried it before, it's always a good idea to try it. This is only for one day as far as the T-square. Once the moon moves out of position, you just have that opposition with Mercury, which will be over next week. Hallelujah. And this Thursday, Mercury goes direct. So that'll take care of some of those miscommunication problems too, which have been bugging everybody. So you guys, a little bit of a stickiness there. We're almost in the clear as far as these challenges. And don't lose heart, because you got so many people there that got your back, if you know what I mean. And they're definitely going to be there for the long haul. So you guys have a great week with that. Sagittarius. Saturn is almost on his way out. I mean, well, he is on his way out, but he's almost completely out of your sign. Will be completely out of your sign next week or so. It's 0 degrees Sagittarius. He's on the true cusp of Sagittarius and Scorpio this week. And in opposition with Mercury. Mercury is going direct on Thursday. We are all very happy about this. So this energy is going to get a lot lighter as you feel the miscommunications and all of the frustrations and difficulties that the Mercury retrograde has a tendency to bring about. And especially with Saturn being retrograde, there's definitely some issues there when it comes to feeling as if some responsibilities are put on you that aren't yours. It's really important not to take those or get overly frustrated about them. The truth is, that person who may be giving you that responsibility just doesn't know exactly what it is that they're doing. Unfortunately, it happens sometimes. On Monday, it's really sticky as the moon moves into position to form a T-square between the moon herself when she moves into conjunction with Neptune and the sun and Mercury. And this creates a big issue when it feels like disruptions in your schedule get in the way of you being able to do the things that you want to do. And most of the Sagittarians I know have everything very carefully planned out, so a wrench in their schedule is going to be very difficult. You're not going to be able to get around it, and that's all there is to it. And it may be difficult, but what you don't want to do is let your emotions get the better of you. This person may need the help. You may be able to help them out really quick and move them on to whatever it is that they need to do, leaving you back in the space of being in control of your schedule again. If you spend too much time frustrated about it or overthinking it or thinking too much about the situation, you're going to find yourself wasting a heck of a lot of time when you could be productive in something else. And Saturn's trine with Venus this week is all about bringing you the love and support that you need to make things happen for yourselves, or in some cases vent about your frustrations because you need to be able to release them in order to move on. As of next week, Mercury is moving out of this position. Saturn is moving officially out of your sign, although she will still be cusping, but there will be no more Mercury opposition, so things are going to start to calm way down after this week. But until then, you guys are awesome. Whatever it is that you're doing this week, make it count in big ways, because if anybody can do it, it's you guys. And you guys have a great week with that. Capricorn, Pluto's squared position with Uranus this week does make finances a little bit difficult, especially when you need the little bit of extra cash when it comes to the home, or maybe spending it on those that you love. And this is always a difficulty for Capricorns, because Capricorns really like to be able to have the money that they need in order to do what they want to do. But at the same time, Pluto's aspects with Neptune give you the insight to show you some small ways where you can earn a little bit of extra income throughout the week, giving you some really good ideas, and not only giving you the ideas, but providing what you need to make those things happen. And also including the space in your schedule. Capricorns always have a very busy schedule most of the time. But this particular aspect shows you the time that you have in your schedule and allows you to put those ideas into place. And by the time the moon moves into position to trine Pluto at the very end of the week, you're going to see that those little ideas actually move from temporary ideas to part of your overall success when it comes to your dreams, goals, and your career. So bottom line here is, guys, you can always make money. And I tell that to people all the time. There's always a way to make money. You just have to find it and make it. And that's all there is to it. And you never know. Some little thing could turn into something big before you know it. So you guys, don't ever think that anything is insignificant, because nothing is insignificant when it comes to making money. There is literally, the sky's the limit for you guys this week. And you guys have a great week with that. Aquarius, the moon kicking off the week in your sign is a little bit of a difficulty, although there's a lot of beautiful aspects to it too. As she trines with the sun and Mars in almost perfect conjunction with each other, it's all about making leaps and bounds and advancements when it comes to your career. But at the same time, her opposition with Jupiter is a bit of an issue when it feels like she's sort of bringing up old past failures in your mind. And this always happens. You got this new thing, things are working beautifully. So why do we go into our minds and worry about it, or have any kind of fear over whether or not it is or is not going to be successful? And we become reminded of all of these past times where things did not work out. This aspect right now is trying to teach you to get out of your head and not even go there. If you feel the fear welling up, go, nope, I'm not even going to do that this time. I'm just going to focus on my success and see where I can go from there. Nothing is ever a failure, although I have to say, being an Aquarian myself, we take failure very seriously most of the time. But nothing is ever a failure. It is a lesson. If it doesn't work that way, you have to try it another way. And it's as simple as that. The main thing is to stay out of here, because this, unfortunately, is the place where we tend to scare ourselves out of moving forward. Do you want to do it, or do you not want to do it? That's the question you want to ask yourself this week, guys. So once the moon moves out of there, it's smooth sailing for the rest of the week, and really focus on your schedule, prioritizing and getting those things down so that you can be as successful as possible. And you guys have a great week with that. Finally, Pisces. The moon moving into your sign on Monday is going to create a glitch in your plans as she moves into conjunction with Neptune and in the T-squared position with Saturn, the Sun, and Mercury. And it is going to seem like things are going great in your... You can never have everything good in every aspect of your life. If your relationships are working great, your career's not working so well, and vice versa. And a lot of this with Saturn's placement in the house of the mind right now is all about how you're thinking about the situation. I do know a Pisces actually who asked a very important question: why do I always have bad luck on Friday the 13th? And the explanation was, because you believe that you're going to have bad luck on Friday the 13th. Now, unfortunately, not everybody likes this answer, but the truth is our minds are very powerful in terms of how much control your thoughts have over your reality. So if you're thinking that you're going to have an issue at work, you're going to have an issue with work. And if you're thinking you're going to have an issue with your relationships, well, then you're going to have that issue with your relationships. And the more issues you have, the more that mindset gets dragged down on a negative level, projecting it out into all aspects of your life. Truth is, you don't want to go there. So don't go there. If you're having some issues, don't let it spread out through the rest of your life, simply by not allowing it to and cutting it off up here before it starts. As the moon moves on and out of your sign on Tuesday and Wednesday, we're left with Neptune square with Mercury, and that's it. After all of these squared positions and two squares with all of these planets, we're just left with Mercury, and he's moving direct on Thursday, which means by next week, Neptune won't be squared with anything anymore. And that means that we actually have what feels like a breath of fresh air coming up next week. And this week, with a little bit of a challenge, it's going to get a lot easier and definitely a lot better. So you guys, think good thoughts, think happy thoughts, think positive thoughts, and whatever you do, don't forget how awesome you are, because that's the most important part. So have a great week with that, guys. Thank you for listening yet again to the horoscopes. I'm Melissa Bruce, the Heavy Metal Psychic. Don't forget to check out all of our links, our Facebook links, and of course our website link is always up there. We are always offering personal readings, classes, etc. Check out the website. All the information is there. And you guys, make it a great week.